And we are live. Cool. Today, the idea is to look a little bit into InflationX ViewPump. For those of you who don't know, in MVVM Cross, which I'm one of the maintainers of, we use our own custom layout inflator to go through the XML file, which you have your layout in, like go through every node in the layout, inflate it, and then we take that inflated layout and then we apply our bindings based on some attributes that you put on your views in there. And some of that code is not the prettiest code out there. It works. Sometimes it crashes. I've seen some crashes recently. So this kind of has triggered me to look into some of the other approaches that I think it was Chris who created the calligraphy library, which some of our code is based on. Some of our layout inflator code is, Chris Jenks, this guy here. I think he initially created calligraphy, which also uses the kind of the same approach as we do in our layout inflator. The difference is he did it for adding custom fonts and views, and what we use it for is to apply view model to view bindings in Xamarin Android. Since then, he and his co-conspirators have gone down a different route through this ViewPump instead. So the idea is to investigate what this does, maybe how we can use it in MVVM Cross, or like be inspired of how they do things there, and basically try to see if it's useful for us, and just try to play around with it and see what it can do during the stream. It might end early if I find out that we cannot use it. So, but yeah, that's what it is. So I did find a binding library for this for Xamarin Android, which seems to use the latest version of this ViewPump, which is 2.03. And if I look into the CS project file here, it seems to use the version 2.03 there as well. Let me zoom in a little bit. So this should be kind of up to date, apart from using a slightly older version of Android X app compat. So I might have to clone this and update some bits and rebuild it for myself. But if I want to try it in Android, in Xamarin Android, so yeah, maybe let's dive into this to begin with. So let's maybe just clone this and update this project. I'll play around with that. Clone, git, ViewPump, cool. Everything looks good. Alrighty, and then let's start Visual Studio. Open a project solution and ViewPump. Cool. There's also a sample app here, which is pretty cool. So I could play around with that one to see how it works. Okay, now something happened. Text update interceptor. So there's already some interception going on here. Okay, cool. Yeah, so if we take a look at the ViewPump website, so basically viewer inflation you can intercept, and that's kind of what we want in MVVM Cross. So that's kind of what we try to achieve through the custom inflator. So yeah, it would be great if we could kind of simplify it and have one thing less to maintain. So if we could maybe start use this binding, or maybe just port some of the code in the view pump that is relevant to us. Like it seems it isn't touched very often. So yeah, maybe we could port some of it directly to C# and this is some test code. Yeah, 14 months ago. Yeah, so we could maybe port some of it, just the necessary bits, to just keep it simple and maintainable in C# and customizable that way. Because yeah, if you create this binding library, you're kind of bound to what is actually here. And also if we translate it, like if you noticed in here, there's extra dependency. So like, yeah, we would also have one less extra dependency if we just ported some of the code over. But yeah, let's start with just playing around with it. All right, everything is green, cool. Let's just check NuGet packages. And while it's updating, I'll just take a sip of my lovely water. Okay. Android X ViewPump. Is there already a newer version? Let me just check what the author pushed on NuGet ViewPump. Yeah, this might be the same version and it's a mistake or some minor correction here. Fine. Okay. But yeah, what we wanted to update was Kotlin standard lib. Let's bump this one to the latest stable. Yes, please. Right. And then there was all these Android X bits. Let's bump these as well. Wow. It's a lot of dependencies. Not sure if they are all needed though. Okay. We still have some updates to do in the sample project. So let's just do that. Yeah. Okay, and then let's take this sample app And instead of using the NuGet package, let's just unload it. And add a reference to our binding library instead, so we can test our changes. Cool. Okay. Okay, please. And set this as startup project, and then let's try to rebuild. Rebuild all failed. Could not find one Android X assemblies. Make sure to install the following NuGet packages. App compat resources in sample app. I'm not sure we need all of these Android X packages in there though. Not sure why the author added all those. Material. And then there's Android support design, compat, all of these. Let's look it through. Maybe we can update the sample so it doesn't need all those things. It's kind of a side quest, but yeah, maybe we can take a look at that. And because I don't believe there's too much going on here. So coordinator layout, app bar layout, floating action button. Yeah, relative layout, text view. What about the menu? Nothing in there. So I really don't think any of that is really necessary. Okay, let's try remove it and rebuild and see how that goes. So all the Android support design stuff is probably in here or in app compat. So let's just try to remove all Android support stuff. Live data, none of this is used. Browser is not used either. Migration, not really necessary. Maybe browser is part of this material thing. Let's just look up the latest version of this. I think we do have the latest RC3. Fine. Preview 6. Okay. Let me copy the version number. Thank you. This is slightly new. Okay. Let's just try to remove all of this. I'm pretty sure it's not really needed. Type from version 10. Cool. Okay. Reload. Can I restore NuGet package? Please. And rebuild. Go away. Okay, design. Android support design does not exist. Okay, so let's check that layout and look up where this is living. So coordinator layout. And Docs, please. No. Where does this live in Android X? Material. Yeah, and then it's called app Google. Okay, so that app bar layout needs to be swapped out with this. And then floating action button probably also lives somewhere else. Sure, all of these namespace changes. Okay, this one is good. And then coordinator layout. Maybe we can find it here. Yeah, Android X coordinator layout widget. Okay, nice. And this is probably in its own package as well, so maybe we need to check that. So if we go to NuGet and then just look up coordinator layout, it lives in Xamarin Android X coordinator layout. It's so hard to pronounce. Okay, let's add that one. Major layout. Yes. Install. What else? Then there was toolbar. It is probably also in some other namespace. App compat widget toolbar. Yes, please. And we do have the app compat library installed, so this should be enough. This updated and it kind of looks okay. Rebuild. Okay. There's still. Okay, so we just need to fix up main activity now. Cool. So I think the layout is fine now. So it's not app compat activity anymore, is it? I don't think so. Oh, well, it is, but it has moved namespace. Okay, so let's see what it suggests. Yes, this namespace. And floating action button lives here. And this is a little bit overkill, supplying global and everything here. But it's not this toolbar we want. We want the, because we have app here. Do we really need that? We also have a snack bar. Okay. So You can just write using toolbar equals Android X app compat widget toolbar. And now it's happy down here. So now it's only all of this ViewPump stuff that fails. So let's try build this ViewPump thing again. Yeah. Please go away. Bunch of warnings. Let's see what it says. Warning. IO GitHub InflationX ViewPump interceptor matched no nodes. So that metadata is not really useful. Oh, this one. Is the jar here? It is. Okay. And does it output anything? Nice here. What? Okay. Bin debug. It does output something. A whole bunch of. Just check. Edit. Does ViewPump really need app compat? Almost certain it doesn't. App compat. That's in the sample. That's probably for the sample. The sample stuff, so we can actually remove it from there. One less thing to worry about. Bye. It's a little bit overkill to have it in there. And rebuild. Okay. And let's see if it this time output anything useful. That's a little bit better to look at. So Kotlin stuff, JetBrains annotations for the Kotlin stuff, and then our DLL here. Then if we open it with .peak, do I have that? I do. Let's then see what it contains. Okay. So it does have these namespaces and I-interceptor, inflate risk. It looks okay to me. Context wrapper, ViewPump. And then it has the library project here. So yeah, what you can do is actually save this just for fun. Let's just save it to, just save it here. That's fine. And then you can unzip that and see what it contains. That's all the classes jar. Okay. And then it will have a manifest, some resources. Yeah, okay. It does look okay to me, so this should be fine. But why it complains about namespaces missing here? I don't really know. So let's just check once again the reference here. Reference. Oh. So it didn't add. That might be why. So it didn't seem to actually add my reference from before. Add reference. Check this. Okay. Now it's there. And then if we rebuild now, less errors. Okay. Interesting. Aha. Great. All right, let's try to run this. Let me share my emulator. See how that goes. While we're waiting, another sip of this wonderful water. Maybe another one. Keep hydrated. Thanks, emulator. It's running at least, so that's that. Could be a bit faster, but yeah. Uh-oh. Kind of blew up. Failed resolution of Kotlin reflect K property. And then what? Then it dies. Okay. Interesting. Here's the manage stack trace. Do we have linking or something enabled here? Might be eating up stuff. None. And sure, that's fine. It should be okay. Did updating Kotlin maybe break stuff? Could try reverting that dependency just to see whether that one is messing things up. So changes. Why does not show anything? Oh, I closed it. Fork. And now it decided to show it. Okay, so let's just try to discard this. We can always update again. Yes, please. There might be some compatibility thing between the Kotlin version the AER file was built against and that stdlib that we included here. So yeah, just rebuild everything just to make sure nothing is lingering on here. Then see if it runs this time. But yeah, what this sample is supposed to do is, I think, adding this prefix to every text view. And if that works, that is pretty cool. One thing I will really want to test it up against is recycler view and lists and stuff like that, and try to see if it still works with that. And if it does, that's super interesting. Okay, so yeah, it was the version. Do we have anything in here? No, okay. Okay, maybe let's try to add a recycler view to this with some items in it, and then see if that also works. Because this one text view we have in the layout here. So if we just take a look at that, just quickly, content. Can we split it the other way? Yeah, so here it says hello world. When we actually run it on device, it adds that prefix by simply setting up add interceptor and then initialize the ViewPump, and then you just go on as you have to attach base context here. Okay, but that's fine. That's fine. You could of course do that, and because in MVM cross you would, instead of writing app compat activity, you would write MVX activity basically, and then inside of MVX activity you could have this override, so that would be fine. Yeah, also this part, so it would be pretty much hidden to the user, and I would just set content view, and the same with fragments. Yeah, I also want to test it in fragments just to see how it works in there. So yeah, we have a couple of things we want to try out and see if that works. So if we start by actually making a commit here, so let's discard this one. And then just go to my GitHub and clone this repository, or fork it. Then we can make a commit for that and make a pull request with the cleanup here. Remotes, add new remote. Cool. Yeah, maybe just rename it. Create new branch. Clean up Android X. My fully migrate to Android X and remove unneeded dependencies. Commit and then push to cheese. Yes. Cool. And then let's make a pull request immediately so we don't forget that. All right. Yeah. As a unused Android X dependency. And the sample isn't fully migrated to Android X and the material design libraries. This PR fixes these things. Maybe let's also check the new spec. Just do it in code. Open folder, git, ViewPump. Let's just check that out if everything is okay in there. So this is actually not needed at all. And this is wrong. It needs to be 9.0. And there's some indentation issues, but that's fine. I'm not sure this dependency is even necessary. It's not added in the library, so by. So it only depends on Kotlin stdlib. And that's it. Yeah. This is fine, I think. Yeah, I really don't like that people put Xamarin Android in the ID. I would just put something like just ViewPump in the ID, because I think Xamarin, at least Xamarin Android, should be a reserved prefix on NuGet, but I don't think it is. But yeah. Otherwise, this will look like an official thing from Xamarin, but it really isn't. Yeah. Okay, let me just fix this indentation. It's horrible. Metadata, title, authors, procedural, description, tags, framework assemblies, dependencies. That has a group here. This. Then all of this needs indentation like this, and then I'm much better now. Okay, cool. Let's commit this as well. Just commit this here as well. Let's just list them out. So this PR fixes library. Sample fully migrated to Android X and material design libraries. And then we have the new spec fixed with correct dependencies. New spec indentation fixed. Cool. Create pull request. This repository could use some CI stuff as well. We could set that up with GitHub Actions or something. Later. Now we need to recycle view. This one. Let's grab this one and add it to the sample. Unload, edit. Oof. Reload. All right. Okay. So layout. Let's create. First of all, let's create a fragment that opens when we press the fab. I think that would be a good test. So let's create a layout for that. And in that, we will just add a couple of text views as well. So let's just call it content fragment. It's fine. It doesn't really matter for now what it's called. Let's just copy paste this, and it will be shown in. This doesn't really matter. Okay, hello world 2. Let's add another one. Hey cheese. And layout below. Let's give this one an ID so we can lay it out below this one. Below. Then Android layout center horizontal true. Mucho better. Let's give it some margin. Margin top 16 dp. All right. Now we have the content of the fragment. So let's create the fragment and new. Does this know how to create a fragment? Will this work? This is the wrong type of fragment. That's fine. Okay, we'll just change it. So app compat app where does it live? Fragments app fragment. Okay, and then we use our new layout content fragment. I'll just remove this. There's nothing really needed in here. And we move this up. We can. And then that's it. Cool. So now we need to fab click. I don't want the snack bar anymore. It's really not necessary. Then we do fragment manager, begin transaction. Support fragment manager. Begin transaction. Oh yeah, so we actually need an area to display this fragment in. Activity main, we probably have that already. So if we look at activity main, it includes that one. Okay. That's fine. Let's just add a frame layout here, which matches the parent, and let's just call it fragment area. That's fine. So it fills the entire view, and it's the top one. That's cool. replace resource ID frame fragment area with our new fragment. Fragment equals do we have this instantiate, and we need a context, which is we are in an activity, so we can just write this. Whatever it needs a name. Okay, it's deprecated. So let's figure out what we need to do instead. Fragment. See what people say. We can okay. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we don't need any bundle or anything, so we can just write new fragment 1. That's fine. That's much easier. Okay. Replace it with this and commit. So let's split this up a bit. Okay. Cool. That's right. Clicky, clicky. That seemed to work, kind of. Looks a little bit like poop, but that's fine. So let's just give this a background color. Or we could do something else. Let's let's just give it a background color, that's fine. Color. Do you have anything? Some default colors. I think we have just used accent, that's fine. Wow. Okay. So when we ran this, it actually also prefixed in this fragment. And we actually didn't add anything to the fragment itself. So prefix hello world, prefix hello world 2, and prefix hey cheese. But we didn't add any of this in the fragment itself, in its layout, nor anything in here, which is pretty cool. I like that. So let's go back to the app. So we still have the fab. So maybe let's add another fragment with a recycler view and see how that one works. So new item. layout, content recycler fragment. And then wait for whatever we need to wait for. Finally, let's grab this. Yeah, that's fine. And then Android X recycler view, match parent. Excellent. Android ID recycler. It's fine. Cool. And now we need to create an adapter, a view holder, a view, and all of that jazz. New item. So let's create an item template. Let's make one with different cheeses. It's fine. You'll like it. Might be smelly, but that's fine. Super fast Visual Studio. With match parent, let's make it like 80 dp tall. And let's make it horizontal. Yeah, maybe just for now a text view, that's fine. I'm actually only interested in seeing if the ViewPump also replaces text views in here. So text, that's fine. Yeah, let's maybe add some placeholder text. Cool. Good. We have an item template. Let's create another fragment. Okay. And use content recycler. Cool. We need to add an adapter on this one, so we need to create that. Let's do that. Public class cheese adapter, which is of a recycler view adapter. Okay. Then we need a view holder. So public class cheese view holder, which is a recycler view holder implementation. Oh, where did it go? Hey. Ah. Okay, much better. Cool. Um, mm, right. And public list string cheese. We will use that as our item source. And so if it's not null and it has a count, return that. Otherwise, just return 0, because then we don't have anything. And then public text view text item view find this one resource ID text. Wasn't it what we called it in the item template? Let's just double check. Text. Nice. Back. Cool. So if folder is cheese view holder, cheese view holder, then cheese view hold cheese view holder text equals cheese at position. Cool. Now we need to create a view holder. So this is done by var view holder equals new cheese view holder, and it takes an item view. So in this constructor of this class is override. So in the constructor here, we will create a layout inflator. Layout inflator. Like this. And then equals layout inflator inflate resource ID item template item temp layout, sorry, item template cheese, and that's the parent, and we don't want to attach to root. Then we pass it the view and return a view holder. So far, so good. Then here we need to create a cheese adapter. This is fine. And then we need to find the recycler view. Resource ID recycler. And then recycler view, set adapter. And then I think we also need a layout manager. So equals new linear layout manager. Orientation. Vertical. False. Recycler view. Set layout manager to layout manager. Okay. Neat. Let's just move this into its own file. Cool. And then we go to main activity. So next time we click on the fab. I guess we can check. Which fragment is on top, right? Fragments. Voice. We can also use the menu up top, then it's very distinct. So let's just use the menu. Action settings. Do something similar. Fragment 2 in fragment area. And that's it. Let's try it. See what happens. I'm not sure about. Oh yeah, we still need to set some cheeses, I think. So we won't see anything right now. Context. Yeah, we need to populate these cheeses. So it will just show a blue background, which is fine as well, I guess. Let's see what happens. Yep. And cool. Okay. Let's add some cheeses. So, cheese adapter. Adapter cheese. New lists of strings. Gouda. Mozzarella. Blue cheese. Camembert. Goat cheese. Fine, we have some cheeses, so let's see what happens in the recycler view. If it actually intercepts that one. It didn't. So I wonder if we need to do something special for that one. So let's check the InflationX docs. Define your interceptor. Blah blah blah. So that's the one we got. Yeah. Wrapped activity context. Okay. Recipes wiki page. Must be something to when up compass layout inflator attempts to inflate. So I guess so app compats layout inflator. Okay. Draw overview. Swap out lists. But I'm not used. Well, I might. No, that's not compat layout inflator. But the context here. Would be that we need to wrap the context here somehow. So if we do we get from this context wrapped. Then we pass it the wrap context. You think the interceptor happens whenever inflate is called, then it does something in there. So let's check it. So now that context is definitely wrapped. And nothing. Is it? Then it's because we set the strings here at runtime. So maybe we could just try one more thing for this interceptor. Let's just try text view background, just set that to new color drawable. Why does it do this? Yes. Color. Yellow. Okay, it's running. Text view, foreground. Color. I don't know. Let's take red, purple. That's a good color. Okay. So yeah, so we might be overriding whatever it prefixes at runtime. So let's just try with colors. So it works here, foreground, background. Text color. Set text color. Okay. Nice. Nice. Amazing. And did we actually need to wrap this? Let me just try. Give it this one. And see if it still works. Impressive. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So this basically means that inside of this interceptor, we could actually go ahead and apply the bindings that we right now do in MVX layout inflator. So how this is done is we have this binding visitor, and then somewhere in the code, we call binding visitor on view created with that view passed into it. And then it will apply all the bindings to the view. So it will try to visit all the views inside of the created view, and then apply bindings where necessary. So yeah, this is pretty awesome. This would remove the need for all of this kind of messy code, because no one really dares to mess with it because they don't really understand how it works. And the person who created this initially, they are not really active anymore, so okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. This works also in recycle views and in fragments and in activities. That's a pretty cool experiment. But it is getting late here, so this was pretty interesting. I think I will continue next time with maybe replacing some of the MVX layout inflator stuff with this ViewPump, and see if I can get anywhere with that. That would be super interesting, and see whether it's performs better or worse, or it's easy to work with or not. It's pretty cool. Okay. For those who are watching, thanks for watching. This stream I will upload to YouTube as an archive. I will tweet when that is done. You can always follow me on Twitter at CheeseBaron, and I'll update you for next time I'll stream. I think I'll set up a schedule where I stream Wednesdays around this time. It might vary a bit depending on other commitments and stuff like that, but I think Wednesdays are suiting me pretty well. So yeah, see you next Wednesday. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.